afternoon, everyone. We are changing a lot of things. Can I have my slides, please? Yeah. So we are changing so many things. How many people took very little time to come to this place? Okay. So because next time I'm telling that AI is profoundly changing the way we work and live, but I think commute also has to change. We need to do something for commute. So I'll be talking to you about a few things today. The one is obviously the AI infrastructure, what is required. And the second one is about AI defense or the security, which is very, very important in the AI era because it has changed. Okay, and then the third one is a bit of agentic AI ops, is what agentic ops, which I'll be talking to you about. So the next era of AI is here. I think the chatbots and the agentic AI have profoundly changed the way we do things today, how we collaborate, how we solve problems, and also the productivity. All these things are changing. But at the end of the day, humans are at the central. We will be there. And then what happens with AI is our potential only gets multiplied by collaborating with humanoids. How many of you know Unitary? Humanoids, robots, and AI agents, actually. So that's what will happen, and I'm sure you have heard this many times, but I'll get into some of the things, how as an enterprise we need to get ready, how as an organization we need to get ready to do this. But if you look at it, are we ready? The answer is no, we are not yet ready. Okay, so this is the India data. So what it says is only 18% of the organizations today are ready for AI, rather fully ready for AI. But however, the organizations spend about 10 to 50% of the organizations spend about 10 to 30% of their IT budgets on AI projects, but the expectations are very, very low at this point of time. And look at from a security point of view. Just a few companies, or 36% of the companies, understand and protect themselves from the attacks which are happening because of AI. And they absolutely have no clue what's happening on the shadow AI applications which they are using. They don't have visibility. Many, many organizations don't have visibility on the shadow AI applications, actually. So this is the scenario today. And this can only get complicated if we don't fix these issues. So if you look at why these things are happening, is because there is clearly the shift in the architecture. So what is happening? The infrastructures are really changing. The private data centers are coming, a lot of data centers are coming, and the data centers becomes very, very important because it has to be high performing, very low latency, because the digital workers work 24/7. The second thing is about the network. Right? You need a secure, reliable network because you need the answers for your questions very fast. Because you need agentic AIs to work, and it has to be faster. So the response of the network has to be faster, but it also has to be secure. Security has to be fused into the network. So that is the expectation today. And again, AI models, AI data sets pose a lot of threats today. So these are the risks which come in when you start adopting it. So security and safety becomes very, very important. I'm saying safety also because you'll understand why it is more important in the AI world. So how is Cisco addressing this problem? We are looking at three things which we feel is very, very important. The first one is the AI-ready data centers, which means you can power the AI workloads. The second one is the future-proof workplaces, where people and technology work together to serve customers. What it means is you have devices, you have people, you probably have AI agents in your offices. They need to work along with the people to solve customers' problems, to interact with customers, to interact with one another. So that is the future-proof workplaces. And you need connectivity, and Cisco is providing this connectivity for enterprises and service providers to connect future-proof workplaces to the data centers and also anywhere around the world. And finally, you need digital resilience. What is digital resilience? You need to keep your organization securely up and running, whatever may come. Any threats could be there. There could be cybersecurity attacks. There could be IT downtime. So how to protect the organization? So digital resilience becomes very, very important. So in digital resilience, there are three things. One is assurance, which essentially means you need to have a reliable connectivity for your applications and services. The second one is observability. You need to have an end-to-end view of what's happening, and you need to get insights so that you reduce your downtime and actually enhance your user experience. And the third one, which is also very, very important, is the security operations. Why security operations are important? You need to ensure that you prevent, detect any attacks which can happen, and also investigate and respond. So that becomes very, very important for every organization today. So that is what digital resilience is. So in short, it is all about how to keep your organization up and running securely in spite of whatever things can happen. And then what we are also doing is to embed AI into our products. And why we are doing that? To increase productivity, to ensure user experiences, and also to ensure better outcomes for the organization. So these are the things what we are doing from an architecture point of view as the architectures are changing. Coming into data center, we work with service providers, we work with neoclouds, we work with enterprises and hyperscalers to ensure that we provide whatever the AI solutions they need to power their AI workloads. And how do we do that? So if you look at it, what customers need today. So they don't want to spend too much of time on the architecture or the solutions because they want to build use cases, AI use cases on that. So there are three important things what we do here. We will give customers a unified architecture, which includes network, compute, storage, whatever they need to start their projects. And unified operations, which means it is very simple to manage and monitor the systems. And the third one is about the unified solutions. We can't solve all the problems ourselves. You need to have partnership with the right tools, companies which has the right tools. So we bring all those solutions together for the customers. And we also work with NVIDIA. We have a blueprint for the secure AI factory with NVIDIA. And we are working with NVIDIA to ensure that we also integrate with their Spectrum X architecture. I mean, if you are working with NVIDIA switches, it has a Spectrum X architecture for low latency, and we have integrated, and we are already started this testing with their NICs. And the first part of it, I built an infrastructure. Now I am doing use cases. I am using models, and what happens? So when you have when AI brings in a lot of potential, it also brings in some risks. So you need to be prepared for that. And you need to ensure that you protect yourself from all those things. So how should we do that? So what are you doing today in most of the organizations? So you are accessing third-party applications. You are accessing ChatGPT, Grok, Notion, and many other applications. GitHub, probably this audience will be, most of you will be using GitHub also. So that is one part of it. So that is a threat what every organization is going through. And probably they know, many of them know, few of them may not know that that is a thing. What is it related to? It is related to how user can share some of the confidential data to the third-party applications. So you can protect that using some of the SSC solutions. Cisco has a solution called Cisco Secure Access. But what we will talk a little bit more about, what if you are developing your own first-party applications? You are developing your own first-party applications. For that, what you do? You probably download a model, you use data sets, and you do a lot of things. So these pose a very different problem. And these problems are very different and very complex. The models and the AI applications are very complex, and it's also very non-deterministic. What does that mean? Because you are using the intricate models, and you are using large data sets, and these are not, you are not able to understand and predict what will happen actually. So these are very complex. And what does non-deterministic mean? You give an input, the output comes. Will that output be the same? Answer is no. The output could be different every time you give the same input. So that is very non-deterministic in the AI world. So this is why it becomes very, very complex from a security point of view. So if you look at security, I did tell about safety. So you think of what are the safety challenges you have, right? You have hallucination, you have toxicity. So these are some of the issues with safety. And what are these safety issues related to? These safety issues are related to how the models are. So it's essentially, I mean, if I have to tell you what this is, it is something like this. You want the model to work in such a way, but it doesn't work in the way you want that to work, or the models is not working the way it is supposed to be working. That is what safety is. So it's all into the model. I mean, that is how the models are built. So it is not working the way it is supposed to work. And how about security? Security is related with external threat. Somebody is trying to attack these models and this behavior and changing the behavior of the models. So one is what is within the model, one is what is getting attacked from the outside world actually. So that is why it is safety and security. So which essentially means you need to worry about both safety and security. And obviously there are standards and they outline OWASP, MITRE, and also NIST. They say outline these AI risks. They clearly say these are the AI risks. These are very, very critical organizations, right? They come up with the standards, they come up with the best practices and policies so that we keep everything secure. So what we have done is to take these things, take these inputs from these bodies, these organizations, and then we have put a three-step solution. So in the first one, what we do is we discover. We discover all the AI assets what you have. Anywhere. It could be on-prem, it could be on cloud, it could be on any cloud. What are your AI assets? What are your first-party applications what you are using? And the second thing what we do is detect any anomalies or vulnerabilities. We actually discover if there are any vulnerabilities which are there for those. It could be the models or it could be your applications. We do the validation. And the third part of it is about protecting. So runtime protection. So you are in a production, how to protect you. So this becomes very, very important. This is not the standard security. These are security very built-in and AI security built-in for AI applications. So how we do that? We have clearly it goes and scans and says that, hey, these are the assets you have. You are using API to get connected or you are using gateway to get connected and they are vulnerable. Some of them are vulnerable, some of them are tested, some of them are validated. It will give you all the applications what you are using in your organization. And you'll be very surprised that you are using some of the applications in the model which you didn't know that you are using because some of your users are using if you are a very large organization. And the second one is the supply chain risks. So what we do is we source the open source content and then say that this is very vulnerable or this you can't use it because only 35% of the tests it has passed, 65% it has failed. And some of the models we have seen 100% tests have failed for that. So we scan those open source. So that's essentially what is the risks associated with the supply chain or what is coming into your organization. The third one is you have built a model, you have used a model and built an application. Now you need to check whether that particular application is validated. Is it vulnerable for any threats? Are there any threats in that? So what we do is we validate the model and the AI applications. So that is the second part of it, what we do from a discovery to detect. Okay, and detect has two things. One is you can do it for the open source content, you also can do it for this. Why it's important, right? Why should I be doing this every time? Because your models change, vulnerabilities change, and probably the standards also change so that you need to protect that actually. So that's what you get with detection. And the third part of it is, what I am in production, how should I start protecting? So you have guardrails, you put the guardrails and protect these actually. So how do I consume it, right? The question is, okay, now you told me about AI defense, we spoke about this, how do I consume it? So your AI teams can consume it using an API, integrate the AI defense into your your development lifecycle actually. So essentially it is the shift left approach wherein you ensure that you take care of the supply chain risks and also validate your models before you open it for your users actually. So that's essentially what we do in the AI defense actually. So let me jump into another area. So now I covered infrastructure and I told you how you can protect your AI models and validate applications. Now I will talk something very, very different, which is agentic ops. How many of you here are IT manager, security operations, engineering team, applications team? If an application doesn't work, what happens? So if an application doesn't work, I know what happens. Applications team will tell a network problem. Network team will tell it is, no, it's a systems problem. And somebody will tell, no, application is not working on the cloud. So you have, if you look from an user to the application, and especially if it's on the cloud, there is lot of own infrastructure of yours, and some of the infrastructure, you don't own it, right? But the good thing about this, all these digital footprints or the digital systems exhaust data. You can take data and do a lot of wonderful things with this data. So what did AI Ops do? Essentially what AI Ops did was take the data, use AI and ML, and apply that, and then automate routine IT tasks and detect some of the anomalies and also solve some of the issues before it becomes an issue for the user, right? That's essentially what AI Ops did. So we are taking one step further in the agentic ops. What we are doing in the agentic ops, we are giving the agents the autonomous way of handling and solving a problem. It will go and tell you that, okay, you can do this if this problem happens, but we define that parameters. We tell them that, okay, you do whatever the AI ops is doing, plus you are an agent, you can do more things, and then you go fix the problem. What is the problem which is coming? So it has to be in agentic ops, you can't have it in one domain. It has to be multi-domain, it has to be multiplayer, and it has to be a purpose-built model. Otherwise, it will not work for you. So what we did was to build deep network models. Cisco is a 40-year-old company, and we have lots of data. And this data is not available in the internet, so you can't build your model. So we built this model and ensured that this model is better than any model available in the market today. And this model actually is 20% better than any of them. So how many of you know Cisco CCIE? So this model can pass Cisco CCIE test. Okay, so essentially this is what we built, and we did AI canvas. So what it does is, it is a generative UI. It is not static. It keeps changing. And how does it change? It changes based on the data, it changes based on the context, and it changes based on the actions what users have to take. So you can actually go and say, hey, troubleshoot this particular ticket, the system troubleshoots for you. And it is multiplayer, so the NetOps guys, SecOps guys, and the application guys, they can all sit together and troubleshoot this. And they have the same data, same dashboard, same view for everybody to solve this problem. And it will also tell you what action to be taken, and the operator can take that action, or you can tell the system, okay, you go ahead and take that action. And the agent goes and performs and takes that action to fix that problem. So it is much faster and smarter now with the AI canvas, actually. So there is an inbuilt AI assistant there. What you use with this AI assistant is within the AI ops and the canvas. What you do with this is to ensure that you can query and get information to troubleshoot, get policies, how to configure all those things. It's built into the AI canvas, actually. So I told 3 things today, and those 3 things are about infrastructure, AI defense, which is security and safety for your AI models and AI applications, what you build. And the third one is about the agentic ops. And with that, why Cisco? from silicon till the applications, we can provide the solutions for you. And that's the last slide. My time is up. Okay. And the second is we have the human and the AI expertise with us. And finally, we can't do things alone today. We have an ecosystem of partners for giving an end-to-end solution so that we can provide those solutions to you to achieve your goals. With that, thank you very much.